Welcome to the Quartz Monzonite Special, presented to you by Silver Spike Prospecting. Prior to crushing, I had to remove these quartz cluster crystals off of the larger piece of quartz monzonite I had. I'm going to preserve these, clean them up, and keep them as displays. They will look really nice once cleaned up. All of the sample I will be working with today, all this in the container was one larger piece. I took the time to break up prior to filming. Now I just need to break these pieces up even smaller for the ball mill. A really good close-up of the surface before I commence to crushing it and obliterating it to small, tiny powder pieces. Gonna be messy. That's why I put out the tarp today. It's the fragments and flies all over the place. Stand by while I break all this up and get it ready for the ball mill. This little piece caught my attention. Got myself a little shiny right there. Nice. Commence to the crushing. All of the quartz monzonite has been broken up and is ready for the ball mill. Everything but this one singular piece, I'm actually going to slice it on the wet saw and use the smooth, flat surface to look at it using the microscope. Other than a few fracture points, I was trying to make some larger pieces. It came out really well. Some of them are really ultra thin too. I think that's the thinnest I've ever cut versus this thicker one here. Just thought I'd add that into the video. When they dry, I'm going to look at the surface using my microscope to see what it conceals. The remaining result, made kind of a square piece. The saw has some limitations. I think it will make a nice display. There's some smaller remnants. I think it came out pretty nice though. The next portion of the video, I'm going to be looking at these three pieces I just cut with this microscope that Jason from Mount Baker Mining and Metals originally recommended. Stand by for that. There will be no dialect, just some music and the microscopic images. closer look at the three very thin pieces of quartz monzonite I cut using the wet saw after being polished. They came out really nice. Today is going to be a real good test of Frankenmill's capability. I'm going to put in 10 scoops of the quartz monzonite and 12 bearings today to see how well this machine runs. The new setup is sure a lot easier to load as well. 1, 2, 3 of the big ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the small bearings. To put on the cap, tighten it up, and fire this machine up and get this crush officially started. Make sure that's real tight. I will save you from the racket of running the machine today. A 30-minute timer has been set, and unfortunately I'm going to have to agree with the YouTube community. That thing is awfully noisy, but it works well. I removed the bearings before dumping it out. 30 minutes before classification. This machine is running optimally. Talk about increased productivity. First crush complete. Nearly a full pan. Crushing has been complete. I have accumulated 2 full gold pans in the duration of 2 hours, 4 runs each, 30 minutes. The next scene will be gathering the concentrates after panning in preparation for smelting. The quartz cluster crystals I removed and cleaned up. They look really good. Lots of sparkly stuff, lots of pyrite. Very unique specimens. Down to the very last pan. This is some of the easiest crushed material I've ever panned. It's so fine, the water just pulls all the light material right off, leaving nothing but the concentrates in a very short amount of time. Very bottom of the pan. So let me remove some of the excess water and get a reveal. The very bottom of the last pan. The concentrates accumulated from this crush. Time to roast and get ready for a smelt. 115 grams of concentrates. That made quick work. That roast is complete. Just gotta let it cool off before loading the concentrates in the crucible. Just a little extra borax as a thinner. That should be great. 3 scoops. Give it a good stir. I'm gonna do something different on this smelt today. I will not be using a collector metal, and I will not be using the steel plate to attract the iron. Starting to cook real good now. Getting all hot and bubbly in there. Yeah, that's a nice little button there. Slag could look a little better. 2 nice little buttons though. The result, 2 decent cones from the smelt. Let's get a weight and wrap this video up. Out of 115 grams of concentrates, I ended up with 16 grams after the smelt was completed. Thank you for watching Silver Spike Prospecting. Have an excellent day, everybody.